What's up, everybody? So it's been a little bit. Made an actual video before this one that just never got uploaded, and more stuff's happened, so might as well just start over. So first I would like to address the absence. I told you I would try to not make this much of a space between videos, and then things of course get out of my control and there's a long space between videos. So basically I cut my finger pretty bad, and it's pretty well healed now, so you can't really see it, but I cut it with a box knife and basically cut it down to the bone, and that kept me from doing much work for a couple of weeks while that healed. And then in between that and working 2 jobs and then having physical therapy for my back, there was like not much able to get done here. As you can see, I got the new wheels, tires, brakes, and axle. The axle got moved forward, so it's this part of the axle right here is pretty much the center of the trailer, and so everything's just slightly behind that. It'll have a tendency to fall towards the vehicle when it's being driven, so it's less likely to jump the hitch and come off, and kill everybody. So then I was waiting on getting all of my lights so I can do the safety stuff while it's still easy and I have these gaps for running the wires. I wanted to actually crawl underneath a finished trailer, so I ordered the lights, and then there was some kind of mix-up with my order. They didn't want to deliver it to a post office box, even though that's the only address I have. So I had to talk to my bank, and that took a week to get that sorted out. And I finally got my lights on Friday, so I figured it was time for an update. So this week my plan is to try to get the wiring done, get my brakes wired up, and then start wiring the lights. Basically I got this kit, and it has my left and right brake lights and turn signals. These will go on the right rear of the trailer, and then these 2 lights are just side lights. They'll go on the left and right end of the trailer to mark, at night, so you can tell what the dimensions of the trailer are. This is all what I have to do to make this trailer fully street legal. I got 4 more of these lights, so there's going to be, along the bottom edge of the trailer, there's going to be a total of 6. There's going to be 3, 2 at each end and 1 in the middle, and then same thing on the other side. And then once the thing's built on top, I got these smaller lights there's 3 of those per side, 2 in the corners and 1 in the middle, so that when I'm driving down the road, you'll be able to see the dimensions of the house as it's going at night, and you can safely drive near me. Not that I plan to drive this thing much. It's going to get parked and left there unless circumstances change. I'm not planning to build this to drive around the country in it. I'm building it to live in. But I want it to be safe when it is on the highway, and I want it to not get me tickets, which would cost more than all these lights put together. So this is going to go up high at the back of the trailer. Brake lights up high, brake lights down below, safety. And then the last thing I have to do to make it 100% street legal is this tape. I have 150 feet of it. That's enough to run all the way along both sides, and at the back you run it down here just to cause actual visibility during the day and at night. I mean, it's super reflective tape, so it alternates like 7 inches of this silvery white, and then like 12 inches or something of this red all the way along. So that's all my safety gear that I'm going to try to get done this week. In addition to that, while I was waiting on this, I did manage to get to the shop a few times. I raised, you won't be able to see this in the video, but all the overhead lighting has been raised up near the ceiling now. I bought a ladder, which is also just out of the shop over here. So I bought a ladder so I could get up there and do that, and I'll also need the ladder when I get the house done to get up and work on the roof and stuff. So it's a necessary expense. There's a couple of sections that are still left to paint that just ran out of paint before I got them done. So here's a little bit more primer and paint. The section on this side over here never got ground out because the wheels were in the way. And so now that the axles have been moved forward, that space is free, and I will be borrowing a grinder to finish that last little section, and then priming it, and then painting it. So those are all things I'm going to be doing, in the next week or two. Within 2 weeks, I will not have an evening job anymore, and I will be able to dedicate 5 or 6 days a week. Not full days, obviously, but I'll be able to be here a lot more often. And I'm at the stage where really expensive things are done, and I can start actually buying supplies for building. So I plan to get the 2x6s and some 2x4s delivered as soon as possible, and get started on the subfloor, and then once subfloor is up, start building walls. So thank you to everybody who's borne with me this long. I'm going to do my best not to crank the music on this one. I apologize to everybody who's had trouble hearing. I render this video, I listen to it, quickly, and I'm trying not to do crazy editing and spend a lot of time on it. I'm trying to just get the video done. But also, there's a weird buzzing sound that gets recorded in this big space, and it's just unpleasant to my ears, so I try to fill it with the music so you don't really hear as much of that. And unfortunately, if I guess wrong, I don't really know that till it's already on YouTube, and then I'd have to re-render the whole video, which, because I have an old computer, it would take another day or two, and then since I'm not here every day, that means it's an extra 5 days. So I've been kind of guessing with these videos, trying to get them done fast, and I'm still not getting them done fast. So I'm just kind of overwhelmed with the work and the injuries and the money and everything. But within 2 weeks, I'll only have one job, and I'll be able to be here more often, and I'll be able to take my time a little bit more with the video, I hope. I finally got a little tripod accessory for my phone. So right now the tripod is holding my phone. Every other video, my phone was just kind of propped up on a shelf. Now it's actually on a tripod, so I can try to get angles where you can actually see. For example, you can see down here in the axle, which is cool. The reason I set the shot up like this is specifically the place where the tires were sitting on the old axle. The outside of the tire was right about here. So now it's out a lot further, which means the interior of my house can go a lot further without having this lip. There'll still be a box out here, but it'll only stick in past the wall a few inches. Instead of like in some of the tiny houses I've seen, there's a big box that comes out, and they've only got 4 to 5 inch space in between these two big boxes in the center of their house. And now I'll have a much smaller box that can be hidden by cabinetry or by, I'm not really sure. There'll be a wall here at some point. So, I'll do my best to disguise everything to hopefully where you won't even notice that the wheel wells are there on the inside. So that's one advantage to getting the new axles. And the other advantage, if I didn't mention it already, is each of these axles has a 7,200 pound carrying capacity, Class E rated tires and wheels. These are 8-lug tires. My old ones were 6-lug, which is better than most car 5-lug tires, but 8 lugs means you're spreading the weight out on those lugs, so there's not as much pressure on each individual lug. So once there's all the weight of the house on it, if I get a flat tire and I need to change that tire, it's going to be a lot easier to loosen those lugs because each one will be holding less pressure. That's the theory anyway. Another thing that's not in video, it's actually right behind the camera right now. I got a chop saw so that I can, it's a radial arm saw, so I can bring the blade down on the wood and get perfect 90-degree cuts or 45-degree cuts or whatever I need to make. I was using my little handheld circular saw. It's just not as precise as I'd like. So this way, for all the important cutting that will be going on from here on out, those cuts will be made as square as they possibly can be, so that I can build this thing once and build it right. So I apologize again for the absence, and I'm going to do my best to keep things going. With my physical therapy, my back's feeling pretty good, so I'm ready to get moving in, and I hope you'll tune in and join me. So I'll sign off for now. Have a great day. Thanks.